I think it's gonna look really good when it's done, but it's definitely a lot of work. Do you know what today is?
No. What is today? So today what I'm working on is actually the tractor. Everything's very off the shelf, but it's like a lot of pre-planning. All right, we're ready to go test her. All right, so today I'm back on the gate build. What I'm working on is just, we had a sign made up for it, and what I'm just working on is kind of mounting it to the gate, but in a way that I have some pieces behind it, because I want to give it more of a 3D kind of floating effect to it. So it's got just some steel 1-inch pieces behind it that I strategically placed on it, and I'll have to weld those in place. It's a little tricky just because there's not much room to get in there with the gun of the welder, so see how this goes.
This looks like it's gonna be extremely difficult.
Once I get them tacked in place in the brackets, then it'll be easier. I can remove the sign, weld it all into place, and then I'll have to tack the sign on. But once that's all done, I can flip the gate over and then really
finish the welding.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine one day when he has a shop. Just how much easier things will be to build.
My world stuck in the ground. To plant my seeds right in the heap of ground I found. So I stand fast and ready when the wolf knocks at the door. With neither fear nor anger, all will be restored. They said, son, keep your nose clean, but I can't help but smell the stench of others' evil rising up from hell. My heart beats like Virginia, done split myself in two. One side made for forgiveness, other pays the due.
Well, it's looking good so far. Was it difficult to do? To keep those little tiny pieces exactly where you wanted them?
A little bit. I mean, I had a couple shift on me, but the hard thing is just welding on the ground and moving around.
The awkward position. Yeah, and the reason why he's doing these little angle iron pieces, and I feel like that probably makes it a little bit more difficult than if you just did like, you know, a solid piece of metal. But the reason why he's doing that is because the sign is actually like a little cutout. So he's trying to strategically place the little angle iron pieces behind the cutout so you can't actually see the angle iron. I think it's gonna look really good when it's done, but it's definitely a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean,
trying not to have it be seen or anything, you know.
I would say the sign is, if it originally started as a rectangle, it's what, 90% gone?
Yeah.
Of the original rectangle, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to just get pieces right in the right spots. That's why it kind of looks like a game, like a remote control, like left, right, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, it does. Now, do you think this is going to destroy the sign when you start welding it? Really?
Not destroy the metal, but destroy the paint coating.
The look of it?
The paint coating, yeah, the texture.
Oh, that's nice, because I really like the way it looks. Wait, how are we doing this? You have no idea what that just did to my body. My clavicles hurt. So today we're just working on just the final finishing touches of this gate. So all that means is a little bit of painting. It's been a pretty big project. Obviously, you guys haven't been able to see any of that, but yeah, it's been a lot of grinding, a lot of welding, just a lot of metal work, and I think it's turned out really, really well. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about real quickly. Come here, babe. Do you know what today is?
No. What is today?
10 years ago today, we had our first date.
Oh gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Uh-huh. At a Chili's.
It feels like yesterday. Like I can just remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was late and I thought he wasn't gonna show up. Like I was 99% sure I was being stood up. And now look at us. Like I thought for sure you weren't coming because I'm the type of person that I'm like early to everything, and Spencer is just always late. And he makes us always late pretty much now together. But anyway, that's not the point. Yeah, he was late and I remember thinking that you weren't gonna come, and then you did. I'm glad you showed up.
Me too.
Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about that? 10 years.
I was washing my car about this time.
Getting ready.
Yeah.
Trying to look all spiffy.
I had to make that Honda Civic look as best it could. 10 years ago.
We were babies.
Yeah, we were.
And now we got babies.
I'm strong. Strong.
Whoa.
Whoa. Strong.
Bo's strong too.
Oh, strong. We're doing.
Painting.
We're doing.
Painting.
What's it? We're doing.
We have a little bit of rust forming that we need to take care of before we can paint this side. Nothing a little rust converter can't fix.
Just gotta be very careful not to get it on the paint, because it'll discolor the paint. So today what I'm working on is actually the tractor. The reason being is because we're going to be making a trip out to the mountain property here shortly to install that gate and whatnot, and to have the gravel laid on the driveway. Well, as y'all saw, that driveway is really long, and before what I was doing to maintenance it is just a pole saw and a chainsaw. So I knew that was not a long-term solution. The thought of doing that every spring, that's a nightmare in itself. So we bought ourselves this front loader cutter. It seems pretty cool, but my only drawback is it didn't come with any hydraulic lines, so I had to kind of piece that all together and kind of learn how all of that did, because I've never dealt with hydraulic lines in my life. So, or if anything I did, it's already pre-manufactured and I just attach it. So that was a learning experience. So I got all my lines built out, and I'm going to now route them today and get my everything hooked up to this tractor, and hopefully by the end of the day it'll be up and running.
So just to get ready to even start installing all these lines, what have you done? Because I know you've done a lot of stuff so far, like inside.
Prepped the lines, like all the parts are just generally from those Tractor Supply places, and so they just sell the hose itself, which the hose wasn't sleeved, so I had to buy some sleeve protector, nylon sleeve protector for the hose, so that way whenever it's in direct sunlight, and like I take off the implement and it sits outside, when it sits in direct sunlight, one, it doesn't deteriorate the hose, but two, it doesn't increase the hydraulic pressure, making it difficult to connect the hydraulic lines. And then just prepping out like all my connectors, where I want to disconnect, what needs to connect. And it's just, everything's very off the shelf, but it's like a lot of pre-planning. And
Right.
so.
And how many lines are there that you have to install?
Well, you got the main line that runs front to back, which, by the way, a lot of people I've seen that have these style cutters either plumb them directly into the tractor, which this one has a rear PTO pump. It doesn't use the hydraulics of the actual tractor. It uses a PTO shaft that spins a pump in the rear that will then pump fluid to the cutter up here. The reason why I like that method is because it doesn't heat up your hydraulic fluid. Like, it's just like, it doesn't put more wear and tear on the tractor. But where was I going with that?
I asked how many lines you have to install.
Oh, I mean, I got the main line, and then I got to reconfigure the pump lines in the rear from the rear pump up to where it connects to the tractor. And then I got a short line that connects from here to the cutter itself. And then this model has a hydraulic angle, or a hydraulic arm that I can angle the cutter. So I have to plumb those to the third function.
Maybe I was just looking for like a number. This camera is getting so heavy.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I mean, technically 4 lines, two lines per line, so 8 lines, I guess.
Okay, so 8.
Okay.
All right. Oh my gosh, I was like shaking.
Okay, so everything is hooked up. I'm still missing 2 hydraulic lines in the rear. I underestimated the amount of length I needed, but everything else is good to go. My third function, all that. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to fire up the tractor. I'm going to lift up the front end loader, kind of pivot this, and make sure my hydraulic lines are long enough and nothing gets bound up or anything like that. And also in the rear, my makeshift little bracket, make sure the lift arms don't interfere with that, possibly interfere with that. I think I should be okay, but I don't know.
Yeah, baby. That right there can cut a mountainside. All right, now he's gonna test out the back. Look at that.
So I got all the parts I need, last bit of hose and a few little connectors. So I should have this thing up and running today. I'm going to replace this hose. I do have to drill out the holes in the subframe, and then I'm going to prime them. So I'm going to do that first and then actually reattach all that last. But other than that, we should be good to go.
Can't wait to see this thing in action.
That's what she said.
Spencer. Oh my god. Literally everybody, I feel like, thinks that I'm the one that says those kind of jokes, but if people only knew, you know, it's all you. You try to act like this sweet little thing.
I am a sweet little thing.
And for the next step, we will reattach the thinger-dinger.
The thinger-dinger?
Yeah, you're just attaching these hydraulic lines and then you're going to start installing the PTO shaft. No big deal. Still also need to put hydraulic fluid back here, but then we're ready to go.
I love how you're like...
Does I sound like I know what I'm talking about? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Does Ken's know stuff about tractors? No. I don't. One thing I do know though, is I think your tract is sexy.
Oh my god. Alright, so the last thing to do is to cut the drive shaft, because if you can't tell, it's a little too long. There we go. There we go. All right, we're ready to go test her.
So what'd you think?
I mean, it looked like it did something, but I mean, from inside the cab, I can only see so much.
Right, no it did. It cut that tree really well.
Oh yeah, now I can actually see where it cut.
Yeah. This is a total game changer.
Sure. Very excited.
That's cool, isn't it? That's called a praying mantis.
Yeah, he wants to go back home.
What is it? What do you see? Every time. Do you think anybody believes that? That that's my tummy?
I mean...
That I'm not hairy?
Oh no. No.
He's not pregnant. I am.
Thank God.
So he's just getting ready right now to grind the back of the sign and then get it tack welded to the rest of the gate.
I have the sign in my hand.
Oh, well, I'll just redo that. What's on that sign? You're gonna try to do it on the ground, but I don't know, we might need to move it onto the... Why didn't you do it all on the bed? Spencer! Why didn't on the trailer?
Over your head.
Yeah, do it on the bed. God. That's because I have pregnancy brain. Imagine if you were growing another brain in your body, what it would do to yours. Yeah, it should make me smarter. I wish it worked that way, but it's not really. Okay, so make your belly big. It's like, man, this is awkward, watching this chick grab her belly. And it's like, guess what? It's about to get more awkward. Should I touch your belly button weird? This has to be the cringiest pregnancy announcement ever.
I look ridiculous.
You need a tan. It's like you're really tan until you're not.
And it's full moon white.
You should see his butt.